For many of us, taking care of our mental health is just as important as taking care of our bodies, but it can be a challenge to find the right support, especially one that creates a space where people feel safe, seen, and supported in their healing. Today, we're joined by a therapist and wellness advocate to break down what racial trauma is and why, for many folks, culturally sensitive therapy can make all the difference. Let's welcome licensed psychologist Tamika Jackson. Hello.
Hi, Desiree.
Hi, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yes, okay, so I wanted to start off by mentioning racial trauma isn't a term everyone is completely familiar with. So what does it mean, and why would you say it's important to understand?
Absolutely. Racial trauma is the emotional and psychological distress that happens as a result of racism, discrimination, historic, intergenerational, and systemic oppression. And it's really important to understand because it impacts the mental, emotional, and well-being for Black people. Racial trauma can lead to anxiety, depression, hypervigilance, even physical symptoms like chronic stress, fatigue, migraines. And so it's really important to be able to validate these experiences so that we can create spaces for healing.
And to that point, why does representation in therapy matter, and why is it important to have Black therapists in the mental health space?
Yes, it is so important. Representation absolutely matters. Black therapists play a crucial role in bridging the gap between traditional therapy practices and understanding the unique needs of the Black community.
Yeah.
Black mental health therapists possess a unique understanding of the cultural, systemic, and historical factors that impact the mental health for Black people. For a Black client to work with a therapist who has a direct understanding of that link between oppression and mental health, it really helps to put them at ease, create a sense of safety, take away that pressure of feeling like you have to over-explain when it comes to racial trauma, and this really facilitates deeper healing. And I think the other piece that's important is that there's a huge gap between the limited number of Black mental health providers available and the huge number of Blacks that are in need of mental health services.
And I feel like it highlights the importance of representation even in the mental health space. And you started a wellness program called Core Love for Black women. What inspired you to create this space?
So I have always had a passion for working with Black women, especially around helping Black women find and own their voice. So about 5 years ago, I started Core Love, which stands for Cultivating Our Real Essence. And this is a wellness-based program to celebrate radical self-love, to promote living authentically and unapologetically as Black women. I really wanted to create a space where Black women could gather in community, to heal, to become empowered, and to do this healing through creative outlets. So over the last couple of years, I've been offering a number of workshops and retreats that provide creative outlets for Black women to really come home to themselves.
What has been the response to that?
It's been incredible. It has been incredible. I've had people come from as young as 18 all the way up to elderly people who are saying, I've never had a space just for me where I can look and discover parts of myself and rewrite narratives that have been deeply held and was holding me back. So it's been incredible just to see the liberation that comes from the process.
I think it's amazing work that you're doing. And you include also a creative healing practice called Soul Collage. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, I love Soul Collage. So Soul Collage is a beautiful, transformative, intuitive art practice that really helps to connect you to your inner wisdom through the creation of a personalized deck of collaged cards. And each card basically is like a window into your soul. Each card represents some part of your inner landscape, your dreams, your values, your fears, your challenges, your strengths. Really helps to deepen insight around who you are and really helps to connect you to the authentic, true voice that lives in your soul.
Wow. I mean, with the work that you do, you're seeing how it's impacting others. What would you say to folks in the Black community who are hesitant to seek therapy?
Well, one, I would validate it because I think there's an understandable level of mistrust within the community when it comes to mental health. There's also a lot of stigma. But I would want to first of all say that seeking therapy is not a weakness, that it is one of the strongest and bravest things you can do, that being vulnerable is courageous. So I would really want to harp on that point, but also to let them know that because you seek therapy doesn't mean that you're broken, deficient, crazy, all of these ideas that we carry sometimes. But really, it just means that you're human and you need some support on this journey. And it's a way to honor your wellness. You know, one of the things I like to say is that as Black people, it is our birthright to be well in this body. We carry so much. We've been carrying so much for generations. And so to be able to get yourself to a space where you can heal and be seen and be heard, it's your right. So that's what I would say.
Dr. Tamika Jackson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
As well for us. And I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information to learn about Dr. Tamika Jackson's workshops, retreats, and therapy offerings. Visit her website at drtamikajackson.com.